Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we'll explore the tale of this remarkable coin, its history, the beauty of its design, its minting details, and how it became a hidden gem worth an astonishing $15 million. It all began with the modernization of British coinage. By 2008, the Royal Mint had decided to refresh the designs of circulating coins, ushering in what was known as the Heraldic Shield series. This new series was meant to reflect the unity and strength of the United Kingdom through an artistic representation of the royal arms. Each denomination, from the 1p to the 50p, was designed to form part of the shield, and when placed together, the coins created a complete image. The 2009 1 penny was part of this visionary design change, marking the continuation of a proud British tradition while embracing a modern, sleek aesthetic. The story of the 1 penny coin traces back centuries. Its lineage goes all the way to the 8th century when pennies were first struck under King Offa of Mercia. Over the centuries, the penny evolved from a small silver coin to a copper and later bronze piece, and finally, in modern times, a copper-plated steel coin. By the time Queen Elizabeth II's portrait adorned the 1 penny in 2009, it represented more than just 1/100th of a pound. It symbolized the continuity of Britain's royal and monetary history. In 2009, the Royal Mint produced the 1 penny coin with a diameter of 20.3 millimeters and a weight of 3.56 grams. The coin was made primarily from steel, coated with copper to give it that warm, reddish hue reminiscent of older bronze pennies. But it was not the material that made the 2009 version special. It was the design and the precision with which it was struck out on the obverse side. The coin proudly bears the image of Queen Elizabeth II, facing right. This portrait, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, had been introduced in 1998 and remained in use until 2015. It's instantly recognizable, with the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a graceful representation of Her Majesty's elegance and strength. Around the portrait runs the legend, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 2009, a Latin inscription meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The reverse design, by Matthew Dent, is what sets this particular coin apart. Dent's revolutionary idea of dividing the royal shield across multiple coins gave British currency a new identity. On the 1 penny coin, you can see the lower right section of the shield, specifically the first quarter containing the Lion's Passant Guardant of England. It's a small but powerful symbol, showing part of the larger story of national unity. Dent's design was chosen after a nationwide competition, proving that creativity and national pride still had a place in the everyday pocket change of millions. Yet, despite being a circulating coin, something extraordinary happened with the 2009 1 penny. Certain rare varieties, struck in error or produced under unique minting conditions, have become incredibly sought after. Among these are coins that were mistakenly struck using the old 2008 reverse design or those produced in limited test batches for quality control. These varieties are believed to number only a few dozen worldwide. What makes these rare 2009 1 penny coins so valuable isn't just their scarcity, it's their story. They represent a transition period in British coinage history, where tradition met modern artistry. Collectors are always fascinated by such transitional eras or special editions, especially those connected to major design overhauls like the one in 2008. 2009. Another fascinating aspect is the minting quality. The Royal Mint is known for its precision, but during periods of design change, even minor deviations become historically significant. A few 2009 pennies were struck on bronze planchets instead of copper-plated steel, resulting in a slightly different color and weight. Others display die rotation or double striking, minute imperfections that, in the world of numismatics, can turn a common coin into a fortune. The 1 penny of 2009 is not just a coin, it's a work of art in miniature. Its edge is smooth, a subtle contrast to the detailed imagery on its faces. When you hold it, you're holding centuries of British legacy, from the early silver pennies of medieval kings to the digital era of today. But what truly elevates the story is how collectors view it. Over the past decade, coin enthusiasts and historians have uncovered the importance of these 2009 issues. Auction houses have seen remarkable bidding wars over pristine specimens, especially those with verified minting errors or proof-like finishes. Some pieces, once sold for mere pounds, now command eye-watering figures as collectors realize their rarity. Part of the allure lies in the nostalgia associated with Queen Elizabeth II's reign. The 2009 penny was struck during the heart of her modern era, a time when the Queen had already ruled for over 5 decades. Each coin became a tiny time capsule of her enduring presence, her image representing not only continuity but also the stability of an entire nation's currency. Imagine a collector coming across a nearly uncirculated 2009 penny with the faintest trace of an older reverse design or a misaligned strike. To the average person, it might look like any other coin, but to an expert, it's a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Many of these rare examples have been authenticated by top grading companies like NGC and PCGS, achieving high grades that exponentially increased their value. One such example was a 2009 1 penny that surfaced during a private collection sale in London. Initially dismissed as a common coin, it was later examined and found to be a transitional era piece struck on an older bronze planchet. Its condition was nearly flawless, showing proof-like surfaces and clear details. When it went to auction, the bidding was fierce. Collectors from around the world participated, some from the UK, others from the United States, Canada, and even Australia. The hammer finally fell at an astonishing figure: millions of dollars for a single penny. It's moments like these that remind us why coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a passion that connects people to history. The 2009 1 penny stands as a bridge between the old and the new, between monarchy and modernity, between art and everyday commerce. Its design tells a story that reaches back through the centuries, and its rarity tells a story that continues to unfold with every collector's discovery. Interestingly, the 2009 1 penny was part of a larger redesign effort led by the Royal Mint to modernize the entire UK coin series. This project was the first of its kind in over 4 decades. When Matthew Dent's shield design was chosen, it was hailed as a creative triumph. Dent himself described it as a reflection of unity, each denomination a fragment of something larger, just as every citizen plays a part in the whole of the nation. Top 2. This is the story of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny from the year 2001, a coin that has quietly transitioned from everyday currency to one of the most sought-after treasures in the numismatic world. The year was 2001, a moment of quiet transition in Britain's coinage history. The nation stood on the edge of a new millennium. Technology was reshaping daily life, the internet was growing, and yet, the Royal Mint continued its centuries-old tradition of precision and artistry. In that very year, an unassuming 1 penny coin rolled off the minting presses, carrying with it the familiar face of Queen Elizabeth II, a symbol of continuity and grace that had already defined decades of British life. At first, no one noticed anything remarkable about this 2001 penny. It was part of the general circulation coins, produced by the Royal Mint as a continuation of the decimal series that began in 1971. But as time passed, something unusual began to unfold. Collectors started noticing that certain variations of the 2001 penny were not as common as others. Some bore minute minting differences, subtle imperfections or die varieties that set them apart. And those small details, invisible to the untrained eye, would soon make all the difference. To truly appreciate the 2001 penny, one must travel back in time, back to 1971, the dawn of the decimal era in British coinage. That was when the United Kingdom officially replaced the old pounds, shillings, and pence system with a simpler decimal structure. The 1 penny coin was redesigned to fit this new standard. The old bronze penny was replaced with a smaller copper-plated steel coin, lighter and easier to mint. Over the years, the design evolved slightly, but its spirit remained tied to the idea of British pride, tradition, and simplicity. By 2001, the obverse side of the coin featured the 4th definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, the one sculpted by artist Ian Rank Broadley. His design captured a more mature, confident monarch, one who had weathered decades of change and yet stood unwavering. Around the portrait, the inscription read, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, an abbreviation of the Latin phrase, De Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Beneath this regal portrait rested the date, 2001, marking the coin's place in the timeline of British history. The reverse design was the familiar crown portcullis, a symbolic gate associated with the Palace of Westminster. The portcullis, first used on the penny in 1971, was originally designed by Christopher Ironside, a respected British artist and engraver. It symbolized Parliament, power, and the enduring strength of Britain's democratic institutions. The coin's simplicity and elegance reflected the design language of an era that valued both function and beauty. Minted in copper-plated steel, the coin possessed a warm reddish tone that gleamed when new but quickly darkened with circulation. Its diameter measured 20.3 millimeters, weighing 3.56 grams, dimensions that made it instantly recognizable to anyone in the United Kingdom. Yet, despite being such a common coin in appearance, the 2001 issue carried within it secrets that would later define its status among collectors. The Royal Mint had produced millions of these coins for general use. But among them, a limited number of specimens stood out, either because they were struck from slightly misaligned dies, had doubled lettering, or bore proof-like finishes intended for collector sets. These special strikes were never meant to enter circulation, yet some did, by accident or oversight. When they surfaced years later, their rarity sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. Collectors began to scour their change, searching for the elusive 2001 penny with its perfect sheen or those rare minting anomalies. Stories began to circulate online, whispers of coins selling for thousands of dollars. Gradually, the legend grew. A coin once used to buy candy or newspapers now carried the potential to change lives. For many, this was the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of discovery hidden in plain sight. The appeal of the 2001 penny lies not just in its physical rarity, but in its symbolism. It represents a moment in time when the old and new worlds collided, the traditions of the Royal Mint intersecting with the technological age. By 2001, the Mint had already begun experimenting with new minting technologies, including laser-engraved dies and improved polishing methods for proof coins. These innovations sometimes resulted in test strikes or limited-run variations, some of which found their way into collector circles, making the 2001 edition all the more intriguing. For numismatists, small details matter. A difference in metal composition, a misplaced letter, or a slightly altered die can transform an ordinary coin into a masterpiece of numismatic art. Some 2001 pennies have been noted for their deeper relief impressions, where the Queen's portrait appears more pronounced and the reverse portcullis design features sharper lines. Others have been found with faint doubling on the date or edge inconsistencies. These characteristics make them exceptionally valuable because they reflect unique production quirks from the Royal Mint's presses. But beyond the technical aspects lies the emotional connection. For millions in the United Kingdom, the 1 penny coin is more than just currency, it's a piece of national identity. Every scratch, every mark tells a story of hands that once held it, shops where it exchanged value, and pockets where it rested unnoticed for years. To think that one of those everyday coins could now be worth millions seems almost poetic, a reminder that greatness often hides in the smallest of things. As collectors and enthusiasts from around the world learned about the 2001 penny's significance, auctions began featuring these coins, often accompanied by dramatic bidding wars. Prices that started in the hundreds quickly rose into the thousands, and for certain varieties, even tens of thousands. Each sale added more fuel to the legend. Coin shows buzz with talk of the golden penny, and every new discovery seemed to push its value higher. Part of the allure also comes from the Queen herself. Elizabeth II's long and historic reign, spanning over 7 decades, gives her coinage immense sentimental and historical value. Every portrait on a coin marks a chapter in her life and the nation's evolution. The 2001 1 penny, bearing her 4th portrait, sits squarely in the middle of that timeline, a testament to her enduring presence and the Royal Mint's artistry. It's fascinating how such coins carry the pulse of their era. In 2001, the UK was in a state of optimism and change. The turn of the millennium had inspired new designs, modern coin sets, and commemorative releases. Yet, the humble 1 penny remained unchanged, a quiet constant in a rapidly evolving nation. That constancy is part of its charm. For collectors, condition is everything. A well-preserved 2001 1 penny, especially one with a brilliant uncirculated or proof finish, is a rare gem. Proof sets released by the Royal Mint in 2001 included coins struck with extraordinary detail and mirror-like surfaces. When these proof coins were mistakenly separated from their sets and entered circulation, they instantly became treasures in disguise. Today, a genuine proof strike 2001 penny found in circulation can command astonishing prices at auctions. The emotional pull behind such discoveries is undeniable. Imagine finding an $18 million treasure in your loose change jar. It sounds like a fairy tale, but in the world of rare coins, miracles do happen. The 2001 Elizabeth II 1 penny represents one of those miracles, where chance, craftsmanship, and history collide in perfect harmony. As the legend of the coin spread, media outlets and coin enthusiasts began documenting the stories of lucky finders. Some stumbled upon these rare coins unknowingly, while others had been searching for years. Each discovery reinforced the idea that Britain's smallest denomination could hold immeasurable worth. Top 3. Today, we're diving deep into one such piece of history, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny from 1993. At first glance, it looks like just another copper coin you might find lying forgotten in an old drawer, but behind that familiar face of Queen Elizabeth II lies a story that spans decades, blending tradition, artistry, and pure luck. And by the end of this journey, you'll discover how this simple 1993 penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $27 million today. So, let's unravel the mystery of this fascinating coin together. Only on HD Ultra Rare Coins.it was the year 1993, a time of quiet transition in Britain. Queen Elizabeth II had already reigned for more than 40 years, guiding her nation through waves of change, innovation, and history. The Royal Mint, ever vigilant in capturing the essence of her era, continued producing coins that not only served as currency but also as emblems of British heritage. The humble 1 penny, though small in value, carried deep symbolism. Since its decimal introduction in 1971, the penny had become a staple of everyday British life, a link between past and present. But not every penny is created equal. The 1993 Elizabeth II 1 penny holds a special place in numismatic circles. It was part of a generation of coins that marked the Royal Mint's perfection in quality and precision. Each detail, from the metallic composition to the tiniest engraving, reflected both pride and craftsmanship. The design carried forward the legacy that had begun decades earlier, but with subtle refinements that set it apart. The obverse of the coin features the timeless portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, specifically, the third definitive effigy designed by Raphael Maklauf. Introduced in 1985 and used until 1997, this portrait captures the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, a crown rich in history and symbolism. It's a design that radiates grace and dignity, portraying Elizabeth II not just as a monarch, but as a symbol of continuity and stability through an era of transformation. Maklauf's attention to detail ensured that every strand of hair, every curve of the crown, came to life in crisp relief. The inscription around the portrait reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1993, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Turning to the reverse, the coin displays the crown portcullis with chains, a design that instantly evokes the grandeur of British history. Originally a badge of the Palace of Westminster, the portcullis was chosen by Christopher Ironside, one of the most respected coin designers of the 20th century. Its symmetrical form and regal crown symbolize Parliament and the enduring strength of the British monarchy. The inscription, 1 penny, appears boldly above, while the numeral 1 rests below the portcullis, a clean and confident declaration of value. The composition of the 1993 penny is copper-plated steel, marking an important shift from earlier bronze issues. This change, implemented in the early 1990s, reflected modern minting efficiency while retaining the coin's familiar color and texture. The penny measures 20.3 millimeters in diameter and weighs 3.56 grams, small, but mighty in its historical resonance. Even the simplest aspects of its design, like its smooth edge, serve a purpose, maintaining uniformity across all denominations in the Royal Mint's decimal series. But what truly makes the 1993 one penny so captivating is the story behind its mintage. In general circulation, the one penny was an everyday coin, produced in the hundreds of millions. However, certain batches from 1993 became incredibly scarce due to limited production for circulation, and some being struck exclusively for collector sets. The Royal Mint's decision that year to focus on uncirculated and proof sets meant that far fewer standard circulation coins were released compared to other years. This subtle change created an unexpected rarity, as only a fraction of the 1993 pennies found their way into everyday use. Collectors began noticing that uncirculated examples, especially those with perfect luster and no signs of wear, were hard to come by. Over the years, this scarcity has only intensified. Many of the surviving coins have been mishandled, corroded, or lost to time, leaving pristine specimens exceptionally rare. The 1993 penny, particularly those from proof sets with mirror-like surfaces, are now highly sought after. The coin became a symbol of quiet rarity, an unassuming piece hiding immense potential. Imagine holding such a coin in your hand. It feels ordinary, yet it's a time capsule of 1993. A year when Britain was redefining its identity in the modern world. The early 90s marked significant cultural and political shifts. Technology was advancing rapidly, music was transforming, and a new millennium loomed on the horizon. Through it all, the Royal Mint continued its mission, producing coins that reflected stability amid change. Collectors often say that coins are storytellers. Each scratch, each gleam, whispers a fragment of history. The Elizabeth II one penny from 1993 does precisely that. It connects us to a moment when the nation balanced heritage with progress, a theme deeply woven into the monarchy's enduring narrative. For numismatists, the coin's rarity is not just about numbers but about meaning. It's about owning a tangible piece of Britain's evolution, stamped in copper and steel. Over the years, reports of rare variants of the 1993 one penny have circulated among collectors. Some examples were discovered with minting errors, off-center strikes, double dies, and even a few that appear to have been struck on the wrong metal blanks. These minting anomalies have dramatically increased the value of certain specimens. A single error coin, depending on its condition, can fetch astronomical prices in auctions due to its uniqueness and desirability among enthusiasts. Then there are the proof coins, flawless examples crafted with meticulous precision. Proof coins are struck multiple times with polished dies, giving them a stunning mirror finish. In 1993, the Royal Mint included proof pennies in special collector sets, each one inspected for absolute perfection. These coins were never intended for circulation, making them even rarer in pristine condition today. Some proof 1993 one pennies have changed hands privately for immense sums, as investors recognize their growing significance in the numismatic world. But rarity is only part of the story. The emotional connection collectors feel toward coins like the 1993 penny amplifies its allure. For many, it's a memory of childhood savings, of piggy banks filled with coppers, of simpler times. What was once pocket change now holds stories, nostalgia, and untold value. It's a reminder that treasures don't always come wrapped in gold. They can be hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to see their worth. So the next time you come across a penny from 1993, take a closer look. Check the shine, the details, the markings, because what appears to be just a coin might, in fact, be a hidden gem worth millions. And as always, remember, every coin has a story, but few have one quite like this.